Welcome back, everybody, to the Bears Private Plays YouTube channel. Today is Monday, August 26th, and I'm back breaking down some games for the Monday slate in the MLB. We're going to be looking at the Kansas City Royals going up against the Cleveland Guardians as the first play of the day. And for the best play of the day, it's going to be a match between the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies. 4 total player props, with the 2 best player props being towards the end of the video. It is the start of a new week, so go out there, take control of this Monday. Hope everybody has a great day, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, I am back, and we are back to our regular scheduling programming. If you've been watching over the last 4 or 5 days on the channel, I had to pre-record basically Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the MLB and in college football. So right now, 5:25 a.m. Monday morning, I got back from Colorado on Sunday night, immediately passed out, went to sleep, woke up, didn't really feel like doing the work, making the graphics, typing up the notes this morning, recording, editing, and then going to work on Monday morning. But I'd rather do that than have the outcome of what happened this weekend with some of the plays on the channel. We had several projected starting pitchers that I recorded on Thursday, not playing in these games on the weekend, had some comments about the videos, not being about the players that were playing on the day of the video that was released. I thought I did a pretty good job explaining it in the first minute or so of the videos, but apparently I did not. Everything was pre-recorded, so I couldn't do anything about it. So if you stuck around after this weekend, I really appreciate it. Again, sorry for the confusion if anybody was confused out there, but it's usually not like this on the channel. We're going to try to get back to business on Monday, back to what we're used to doing here. And I don't want to guarantee anything today because it is very possible to lose some games, even if you're really confident with your picks. But I think the sweep is coming today. I've got some really good plays. I think both the game picks are going to be winners. I love the player props today as well for Monday. So let's get ourselves back on track after the weird weekend and look at these games for Monday. We are going to be starting with a matchup between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians. The Royals are in a tough spot for the next month and a half because they've got to go through a gauntlet of games, playing some of the best teams in baseball, having matchups in the next 6 or 7 series going up against teams above 500. They have been playing some really good ball over the last couple months. They pulled themselves back to nearly at the top of the standings in their division, fighting with the Guardians, only 2 games back now. They got absolutely smacked on Sunday afternoon going up against the Phillies, and I don't think they're going to win this game either. I'm going to take the Guardians here as the play, plus 105 currently on Monday morning. We have Cole Reagans back on the mound for the Royals. He's been pretty good for them on the season, coming in with a 3.31 ERA and a 1.15 whip, but he's coming off a really bad game going up against the Angels, giving up 5 runs, having 3 walks in that one, going up against what many people consider a bad team this season in the Angels, and that's kind of been his thing since the start of August. He's given up 3+ runs in 3 of the last 6 games. He does have a few good starts mixed in there with those games, but overall, over the last 6 appearances, he has been worse than what we've been seeing on the season. He's also had some problems with his control over the last 6 games. He's had a total of 9 walks over the last 4, and it may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but giving up free passes is the #1 rule, in my opinion, for starting pitching. Nothing good can happen if you're allowing people to get on base just by standing at the plate. He does need to do a little bit better job giving up less walks in this game, and he's also had some problems giving up home runs over the last 4 games, which has not been a problem for him on the season, but currently it is. He has now given up a home run in 4 consecutive games, giving up a total of 14 on the season, but a total of 5 of those 14 home runs over the last 4 games. So I do think he's going to struggle again in this game going up against the Guardians. They're one of the best teams in baseball. They're top 10 in both pitching and hitting. So I'm going to take him to struggle in this one. I think the Guardians can put up some runs on Cole Reagans. And for the Guardians, it looks like it's going to be a bullpen day for them, and that's perfectly okay with me. It's going to be Nick Sandlin on the mound. He's a guy that comes out of the bullpen for the Guardians this season. He's been good. He's coming in with a 3.88 ERA, 1.17 whip. He does have 7 wins on the season, no losses. He's given up 20 runs in 56 appearances. He did have a bad game against the Yankees in the last one, giving up 2 runs off of a home run. But overall, whenever this guy comes out of the bullpen, typically we see an inning or 2/3 of an inning of shutout baseball. I'm pretty confident with the Guardians today as to play with the bats. And the pitching that we're going to be seeing in this game is going to be out of the bullpen. And they have the best bullpen in baseball by a wide margin. The Guardians, 2.71 ERA as a team with the relief pitchers and the closers in that pen. The next best team, the Atlanta Braves, 3.26 ERA. So we do have a very wide gap there. They are the obvious #1 bullpen in baseball this season. As you may guess, they're also the best bullpen in baseball at limiting the amount of people on base. 1.05 whip as a team. I'm going to trust the bullpen today. Cole Reagans, I think he's been struggling a little bit too much. I'm going to take them plus money today as to play, plus 105 on the money line. For the player props on the screen, I'm going to be sticking with the Guardians. I'm taking Jose Ramirez to go over 1.5 bases. This isn't the best season that Ramirez has had, but he's been very effective for the Guardians, coming in with a 274 batting average. He's the second best player in baseball this season at recording RBIs. He has 103. This is going to be a left-handed matchup, and I think he's got a massive advantage here against the left side. He might have passed Ketel Marte as the best hitter in baseball against left-handed pitching with a minimum of 50 games played. He's coming in with a 349 batting average, a slug percentage of nearly 700 in the season. He has 25 extra base hits, 12 of those being home runs going up against lefties. He's also only had 146 at-bats against the left side. It's going to be going up against Cole Reagans, who has been struggling a little bit with his command, giving up a few too many walks, giving up a home run in 4 consecutive games. Let the big dog eat here for Jose Ramirez. Over 1.5 bases as the play there. For the best play of the day, we're going to be looking at the Houston Astros going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. We do have a couple really good arms on the mound for both of these teams. Ronel Blanco going for the Astros, Zach Wheeler going for the Phillies. I've been a little bit concerned about Blanco over the last several months because it feels like even though he's a really good pitcher, we know that he's a really good pitcher, he hasn't been able to settle himself into a lot of these starts over the last few months. He gets himself in these massive jams in the first and second innings, giving up a few runs, and then after that, he settles himself back down, has a really good outing. But the only problem is that the damage is done, especially with the way the Astros have been hitting the ball recently. They are dealing with some injuries. They're coming off of a win going up against the Orioles on the road, but I can't take them in this game with the way Zach Wheeler has been pitching. We also have the Phillies coming off of a double-digit run game going up against the Royals. And this Phillies team, they've been incredibly frustrating since the All-Star break. They have some of the best talent in baseball, maybe the best talent in baseball, but sometimes they only score a couple runs. Sometimes they score double-digit runs. If you're looking at the lineup, this is a team who should be able to score 8+ runs every single game. I'm hoping that that's what they do in this game, but I'm going to take them on the run line, minus 1.5. It's at plus 108 this morning. Looking at the numbers for Ronel Blanco, he has been extremely good this season at limiting the hits, giving up only 91 in the season. He's coming in with some pretty good numbers as well. 3.14 ERA, 1.06 whip, but I didn't mention the struggles early in some of these games. He has now given up 2+ runs in 9 of the last 10 games. If he gives up 2+ runs in this game going up against the Phillies, I think that's going to be enough for the Phillies to win this one by 2+ runs. In his last game against the Red Sox, he was beaten up very quickly. He was only able to go 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 5 runs in that game. He has now not made it past the 5th inning in 4 of the last 5 games. That is going to be a problem going up against one of the best teams in baseball. And again, I really think it's just going to take 2 or 3 runs with the way Zach Wheeler's been pitching. He's coming in with a 2.73 ERA. He's only given up over 2 runs in 1 of the last 10 appearances, and he has given up 1 run or less in 50% of those 10 games. He still has a below 1 whip on the season, coming in with a 0.98 whip, 12 wins on the year, only 6 losses, and this guy is going to be able to give you 6+ innings of work. He's done that in 9 of the last 10 games. The Astros, they are traveling to Philadelphia on Sunday night. I would assume they were in Baltimore on Sunday night. They probably traveled Sunday night. These guys, they play hundreds of games per season, but the travel, it does play a little bit of effect. Not a huge impact, but I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a problem in this one. Usually I'd say that Blanco is the better on the mound going up against any team, but in this game, Zach Wheeler, I believe, is a superior arm. I also think the Phillies have the better overall bats. They're the better overall team. I'm going to take them here on the run line, minus 1.5 as the play at plus money. For the player prop on the screen, I'm going to take a crack at Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases. I haven't taken Bryce Harper in a long time because I feel like every time I watch the Phillies play, he just doesn't try. I know that's probably not the case, but him going up against some of these guys, I feel like he's not even trying to swing the bat whenever he has a left-on-left matchup sometimes. Obviously, he's one of the best players in baseball, and maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it feels like he's content with the way he's played in the last several years at the big league level. He's just not trying anymore. Probably wrong. That's just my opinion of what I've been seeing. But if you look at the numbers in this game, it should be a good matchup for him going up against a right-handed pitcher. He has a 262 batting average this season. We've seen the home run power as well going up against the right side. He has 18 home runs in the year, 16 doubles as well going up against right-handed pitching. Typically, we see Bryce Harper hitting that 3 spot for the Phillies, and Blanco, he has been struggling early in these games. He might make a mistake in the first inning, and Bryce Harper can make him pay. So I'm going to take Bryce Harper here to have an extra base hit in the first inning, over 1.5 bases as the play there. For the best batting prop of the day, I was going to talk about this game as the best pick of the day, but taking the Nationals after a weekend that I had where basically all my games were not even correct because we didn't have the starting pitching, I felt like taking the Nationals as the best play of the day would not be the best way to go. So I went a different way for the best play of the day. I am going to take one of the player props, though. it's going to be Jacob Young of the Nationals to go over 1.5 bases, a guy that we haven't broken down on the channel this season. And I need everybody to listen very carefully because a lot of people may not know this kid for the Nationals. I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot of players for this Nationals team because we're so young. But this right now, he's second year in. I think he's a top 5 center fielder, damn near maybe a top 3 center fielder at the big league level. Jacob Young has everything you're looking for in a center fielder. He has speed, he's got a good glove, and he can hit the ball. He's coming in with a 254 batting average this season, played his first full season at the MLB level this year, and we have typically seen him at the bottom of the lineup. So this one might come out at plus 145, maybe plus 150 on FanDuel or DraftKings. There's also the possibility that this comes out at nearly minus 110 or plus 110 because we have Nestor Cortez on the mound for the Yankees. But if you take a look at the numbers for Jacob on the season, he does do a lot better going up against left-handed pitching. He has a 279 batting average and 347 on-base percentage going up against the left side. He only has 6 extra base hits of the 31 in total, but he's also only had 111 at-bats going up against lefties this season. I really like what I've been seeing over the last couple games as well. He's been on fire at the plate, having 6-game hitting streak currently. I think he's going to make it 7 in this game going up against the Yankees. And Nestor Cortez, he did have his bounce-back start going up against the Guardians in his last game, going 7 innings, giving up no runs. But before that, he'd given up 3+ runs in 7 of the last 8 games, giving up 7+ hits in 5 of those 8 games. He does throw that cutter a lot this season, and that's the one pitch that he's going to fail going up against Jacob Young. He's hitting that at a clip of 455 this season. Even the Yankees fans were calling for Nestor Cortez's head with the way he's been pitching this year. So I don't think we're going to have any problems in this game. He's coming in with a flat 4 ERA. I think Jacob Young is going to win the battle here. Give me the over 1.5 bases as the play there. For the pitching prop today, I've already talked about him a little bit, and I'm so confident with the Phillies. I'm going to take Blanco here over 2.5 runs against the Phillies. Typically, I wouldn't take a player prop with my best play of the day on the game pick side, but the Phillies are coming off of that double-digit run performance against the Royals, and I don't like the way Blanco's been on the mound over the last several months for the Astros. The numbers for him really quick again. He's coming in with a 3.14 ERA, 1.06 whip, good numbers on the season, but he gave up 5 runs against the Red Sox in his last game, did not make it to the 4th inning in that game either, and that's what we've been seeing over the last couple months for him. He's given up 2+ runs in 9 of the last 10 games, barely making it to the 5th inning in a lot of those games. I think he's going to be in trouble here going up against the Phillies. The Phillies, they need to get this guy in the 1st inning. That's what we've been seeing over the last several games. Teams are just jumping on him early. He hasn't had an answer in the 1st inning over the last several months. The Phillies on the season going up against right-handed pitching, they have been pretty good. 250 batting average. That has them ranked 10th in the MLB. And this is also one of the top hitting teams in baseball against the Heat this season. And that's what we're going to be seeing the most in this game out of Ronel Blanco. We also have some of the big-name players like Trey Turner, Alec Boehm, Kyle Schwarber, all those guys at the top of the lineup. They handled the slider extremely well this season. All those guys having a +6 or better run value going up against that pitch. The Phillies are a little bit top-heavy, kind of like the Yankees, but the bottom half of the Phillies lineup is a lot better than the Yankees. This is an overall really good team. They just have some of the best hitters in baseball at the top of that lineup and just quality hitters in the middle and towards the bottom. I like the Phillies in this one to get to Blanco. Over 2.5 runs as the play there. Let's go over to the graphic for Monday. We're going to be taking the Guardians plus 105 now going up against the Royals. Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases going up against the Royals. Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases going up against the Astros. Got the Phillies on the run line, minus 1.5 at plus money. Jacob Young over 1.5 bases against Nestor Cortez. And the Ronel Blanco over 2.5 runs going up against the Phillies in that game. Guys, it's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Monday, August 26th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.